Hey everyone, Johnny B here with devslopes.com, and I am here with a quick Xcode 9 Beta 4 update. Alright, most of the course is done in either Beta 2 or 3, and so Beta 4 recently came out, and there have been a couple of minor changes that we're going to talk about, alright? Nothing too drastic, but first off is something called this safe area feature, alright? And so we've been getting a lot of questions about this, and it looks like it comes standard with any new projects that are created with Beta 4. So if you open up any of the finished source code files from any of the other sections, you aren't going to see this safe area because they were created with betas prior to 4. All right, but so if you're starting the course new with Beta 4 and you start a new project, then you are going to see this and maybe be confused why yours does it and ours does not. But yeah, so this is new and it's not a big deal. Basically what it is what it's doing is it's showing the area that is safe for you to put UI elements, basically. So for instance, if we throw in a label here, I'm going to put in a label and I'm going to put it up right at the top, okay? And so you'll see here that it is right at the uppermost bounds of the safe area, right? And so if I constrain this and say 8 from the left and 0 from the top, what it is constraining to is it's constraining to the bottom of the safe area bounds, or the top of the safe area bounds. All right, so I'm going to add 2 constraints. And you can see here that it is right at the top. And if I run this, all right, so it's built, and you'll see now that the label is actually right under our status bar, okay? Meaning the carrier signal, time, and battery. And so it is safely being in the area that you'll be able to see it. But if we didn't have the safe area, and it's totally an option for you to turn off. So if you click here on the view controller and you come over here to the file information and you come down here to the interface builder document, you can check or uncheck use safe area layout guide. So if I uncheck this and get rid of its top constraint and then just move it up to the top, and I'm going to delete that constraint too. You guys don't need to be following along with this or anything, just to kind of show you. And then change it, set it equal to 0 for the top and add 2 constraints. You know, you might think, oh yeah, this is totally going to be fine because I can, you know, this whole view area should be fine for me to build in. But it is not. So now you see when we build it, because we didn't have the safe area guidelines on, we didn't know exactly where we could or could not place UI elements, and now our label is right up in the carrier signal area. So that's kind of the reason for the safe area. So I'm going to move this back down, delete it, and just to kind of show you one other thing, if I embed this view controller in a navigation controller, then the safe area is a little bit different. So I'm going to come back and turn the safe area on. So here in view controller, here in the file inspector, and turning the use safe area back on. So that will get it back. So now the safe area is a lot smaller than it was with the regular view controller, because now it's the area underneath the whole navigation bar. All right. So that's the safe feature. That's the safe area feature. If you guys want to follow along exactly with us, then go ahead and just turn off the safe area layout guide right here in the file inspector, okay? Not a big deal. Yeah, just turn it off and follow along with us like normal, all right? The next thing that I want to talk about that is kind of a little bit different in Beta 4 is if you were to go ahead and just download our source code and then open it. So this is a freshly downloaded source code file. And if you see in the storyboard, you're going to see that we got a whole bunch of localization issues. All right, so what this means is if you were doing localization in your app, meaning like you know, this says username in English, but if you wanted to be able to have it localized to different countries and nationalities and languages, I currently have a fixed width on it of 250. But what if, you know, in German or some language, it's like super duper long and doesn't actually fit in this label anymore? Well, that could cause bad UI experience. And since Storyboard is by default set to be able to do localization, then you're going to get all these issues. It's going to say certain auto layout constraint combinations may result in an appropriate layout in the current development language, but will pose issues in other languages and regions. So it's going to tell you some things that you can do. And so you have a few options. You can either ignore these issues. It's not going to cause any problem in your runtime. You could follow the suggestions. Clicking on here will give you a few options. For instance, you could set the constraint to greater than or equal to the current width, and this allows the label to extend in width with longer text while preserving the current layout. So you can say, sure, that sounds good, and that will take care of that issue. So you could follow those prompts for these, and that will get rid of your issues. So that's your second option. Your third option is to not care about localization. And so if you don't care about localization, then here is what you can do. What you have to do is you have to tell Xcode that you don't care about it being localized. And so far, the only way that I've found of doing this was on a Stack Overflow post, and I'll show you the steps to do that. So what we got to do is we're going to take our main.storyboard file out of we're going to move it up one level in its project hierarchy. So if you right click on the main.storyboard and say show in Finder, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just take it from here, and we're just going to drag it out one level, up one level, just like that. And then we're going to come back into our project, and we're going to, and now Xcode won't know where to find it, so it's lost. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, say delete, and then we're going to come back into our Finder where we just moved it, and we're going to drag it back in, and we're going to say copy items if needed, create folder references, add to target, and we're going to say finish. And then we've been having some issues with adding to target, so let's see if that worked for us here. Yeah, so see, even though we said add to target, it's not checked here, so we need to make sure to say target membership is smack. All right, and then we're going to save that, and now you'll see that that those localization errors went away. All right, so basically all we did was we took it from its we took it out of its base.l project folder, which tells us that the stuff in here is going to be subject to localization, and pulled it out and put it here. And then we put it back into our project, set its target, and now we are good to go. So if you don't care about localization, those are the steps to get rid of those errors, all right? So hope this was an informative little update, and these changes will apply to the forthcoming sections. So remember them, and if you run into those errors in the future and you forget how to fix those problems, just jump back into this one and watch it again. All right, so I will see you guys later.